right. So I was thinking we could just like walk through the lesson.
Yep.
And just talk about each piece. I feel like that's the easiest way to do it. So the mini lesson, a really good recap of predictions with them, having them share their predictions. That was really good. And then you were talking about historical fiction. How much had they had like prior to that about historical fiction?
We were on the third day of it, so they kind of talked about what it was. We did a little mini lesson about it, but we hadn't really like talked specifically about what are all the parts of historical fiction. So it's a third day talking about it, but not details yet.
So I thought something that you did really well was making connections from the previous conferences with individual students about what historical fiction was, and then other types of books. The students were definitely engaged. The turning and talking was excellent. And then you working with another student on the turning and talking was a great modeling point for them to see that you were doing that. And then you proceeded to share what historical fiction was and how you can tell from the setting of the story. I thought that was good connections for the kids. And then the intro to the text, I thought that was well too, because it got them kind of excited about the book and what they were expecting. Something I was thinking about is what are some other ways students could share responses other than like the turning and talking or the whole group? Have you ever like done anything different than that?
Sometimes we share and then we write them on the board and then they can kind of reflect. Sometimes I'll have them like write it personally in their notebooks, and then so everybody has to do it, but we don't always have to share. There's a couple different things we do.
Something I was thinking too is you could have them like write it down on a Post-it note.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then they can hand that to you, and that way it's like an informal.
I like it.
And it doesn't take up time. You know, it's just a quick like hand to you,
That's a good idea.
or like a note card or anything like that. And then something else I was thinking about was the you like had really good definitions up on the board about historical fiction. Do you have a place like a visual that you have that they could refer back to when they're choosing their historical fiction books?
I don't yet. I could maybe print it off. I don't at this point though.
I just thought that was something like for them to reference when they're looking.
That's a great idea.
So that was just something that I thought. And then you went into the independent reading time with the conferencing. So do you typically like expose them to a variety of goals and then kind of have them choose like which one they feel?
We've been talking about the cafe menu for like the whole month. So each day we'll pick like a different thing to think about, and then they get to decide what their goal is for the most part. Every so often I'll like say, or you should do predictions, or I give them, most of the time I let them pick for this first trimester, and then we get more specific the second and third trimester.
Okay. I like that. Like, I like that you kind of have them pick, like, where should you go? Like, what goal do you need to focus on? And then recording their goal in their notebook. How many students do you typically get to on average?
Ideally 4 or 5, but realistically probably 2 to 3 because the conferences go so long.
Right.
But ideally, I want to get through everybody in a week, but it's more like 2 weeks before I get through everybody.
Gotcha. And then how do you determine who to conference with?
I, for the most part, go in number order just so I don't forget anybody.
Okay.
And so I'll just like go through their numbers. If not, then I'll say conference with the same 5 kids every day, and I would never get to my higher reader. So.
Okay. And then something I noticed was I think it was challenging sometimes for you to get through a conference because kids were interrupting or like asking questions. Like, how do you typically handle that? Like, do you just respond to them and move on, or do you tell them to come back later?
Usually, if I'm conferencing, I won't let them come over. Since we were just picking books, I was a little bit more lenient because like sometimes like just getting into a book. But usually, if I'm conferencing, they know to wait.
Okay. Yeah.
They don't always, but they're supposed to know.
That's something that like I've been having a hard time with too, because you know, like you're conferencing and then they have, can you help me spell this word? What is this word? You know, so something that I do in my classroom now, and it seems to be working right now, is I have them move a magnet over like on the board.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So they don't have to. Yeah, then they feel like they've done something. So they can.
You know, they don't interrupt. It's a nonverbal way for them to show me that they need help. And I tell them, like, you move that magnet when it's, like, something that you really need. Something
Not just
you can't wait until the conference because, you know, sometimes they just want to talk to you about something.
That's a great idea.
So that was just a piece that I thought would be helpful. Is there anything that you noticed about the lesson, like something that you feel like you want to work on or something that you did really well?
I would like to work on continuing like to find goals for my kids, like kind of like ones that they're interested in. Because sometimes I'll meet with kids and they have a goal, but they've done nothing for it. So like, what do I do? Like if they don't, like for the most part, they're okay. But I have a couple who are like, oh, I totally forget my goal, or I didn't do anything. So like, how do I hold them accountable better, other than just talking to them? So I don't take like points or anything or scores or.
Right. And I mean, I have kiddos that have the same issue. You know, we'll meet and I'm like, "Where's your evidence of your goal?" I'm like,
What's my goal again?
So something I'm trying, and I'll let you know how it works.
Yeah.
Like for my thesis, for my master's program, I'm working on self-assessment. So like as they are reading, they have to like fill out a checklist.
That's a
like
good idea.
today I worked on my goal.
That's a
and
great
then,
idea.
You know, at the end of the week when they notice like you gave yourself, you know, I wasn't working on it, that doesn't make them feel good about being themselves as a reader.
Yeah,
so
that's a great idea.
I'll let you know how that works, and then I can share anything I create with you.
Yeah, thank you.
So that was really good. And this is just something I grabbed for you, and you maybe already have this.
What do we need?
But this is a quick and easy formative assessment. It's just like different ways you can assess.
Yes.
So, and this will be helpful for math too.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
I just put it beside my desk and like refer to it sometimes when, you know, I just need like a quick assessment.
Great idea.
So this is copies for you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.